All right. What's up, you guys? My name is Molly Van Marth. I am an executive health and fitness coach, and I help executives lose body fat while retaining or gaining lean muscle and while optimizing their health in the process. I know a lot of executives, try different methods to lose weight and get into great shape, and a lot of times they end up sacrificing their health or sacrificing their energy for results. And obviously, that is not sustainable long term. So, today, I have my client Steve with us. Steve has done a really excellent job. He's only part of the way through his program, but we've been working together for a while and he's seen some great results. Steve, you've done just an excellent job with executing what your plan has been. We've made some adjustments and yeah, overall, you've done a really great job. So I just wanted him to share sort of what his experience has been like. Also talk about some of the things that he tried on his own initially that wasn't working for him to see results. So Steve, first of all, who are you? What do you do? Give us a little bit of an intro on who you are.
Yeah. Look, obviously, I work for a financial services company, overseeing, 200 financial representatives. So it's pretty stressful, right? Long hours, dinners in the evenings. So you got to watch, obviously, what you eat and what you consume. To go back to originally how I came across Molly was, back in February, I'd come out of the Christmas and holiday period not feeling too good. Felt obviously overweight and not my usual self, and really started scrolling the internet. And I came across Molly and a couple of other individuals that I thought, well, let's give it a try. I interviewed 3 individuals. Because obviously with anything, it's about fit, it's about chemistry, it's about all of that. And I ended up obviously choosing Molly. It's been a great experience thus far. So we came out the gates, and I think the first week, Molly said, the first week, write down what you eat and what you drink, which was an eye-opener, because there was definitely not enough protein in my diet. It was obviously a lot of fat. So I think as you look out, and whoever's thinking of obviously engaging with Molly over the next, whether it's 3 or 6 months, the results for us have been, in my opinion, very, very, I would say very, very good. I said to Molly today, I've dropped 2 belt buckle loops, right, which is great. Starting to see, muscle definition. It's been fantastic. And in yourself, and it's not just about your physical well-being. I think it's more about your mental well-being too at the same time, your mental health and how you feel about yourself. So we've engaged for another 6 months, which is great. And I think the results will speak for themselves. I think you've got to have discipline. I always used to think that running and cardio would be the be and end all. It's not. It's part of it, but it's not. Obviously, the resistance and the strength training that we go through, and the exercise routine that Molly puts us on has really helped to retain muscle mass, even though you're doing a little bit of cardio. So it's been, for those that are thinking about doing this, it's been a fantastic experience thus far.
That's awesome.
Molly, I get back to you.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I mean, as far as what Steve was mentioning, like with the belt buckle, especially, and what I think is common for a lot of executives when they try it on their own is sometimes they will start with cardio, and that's like their first line of defense with losing body fat. And unfortunately, when you are cutting calories and going to cardio as your main method for dropping body fat, what actually happens if you lose any weight at all? Sometimes you don't, but if you do lose weight, you're losing muscle with that kind of method. A lot of cardio, a lot of calorie cutting means muscle wasting, unfortunately. And so what happens with that is when you see the scale go down, you're also getting like softer. And our goal here was to get you stronger, more toned, and less body fat. So what's cool is you've described losing body fat. What's neat with you is we've seen it come off around your waist. Really, that's been the most noticeable part of this. And so it's neat that you've been able to experience, you've lost over 10 pounds of body fat, but you have gained lean muscle. And that's really what creates that visual transition that we're seeing, that transformation where we can see muscle definition coming in. We can see your obliques now, you know, so not only are you losing body fat, but you're gaining lean muscle mass. And that's where you have the benefit of losing body fat, gaining lean muscle, and therefore gaining strength and energy, which again, as an executive and how much, you know, you've got long work days, you have a lot of travel, you can't be sacrificing your energy and your mental performance for losing weight. So it's been neat to see you gain strength and also feel better. I know I've heard you talk about how you've been feeling over our check-ins over the weeks, and it's been neat to hear you say you not just look better and your scale is going down, but you also feel better in the process.
Yeah.
I have a question, because I think a lot of people worry that they don't have enough time for this. And my response to that is typically, well, I'm not going to have you be necessarily spending more time. Most people I work with are already working out. They're already spending time working out, and they see that it's not working. And so they're like, okay, I'm already spending time working out. I'm watching what I eat, but it's not working. Am I going to have to dedicate 4 extra hours per week to this? Because I don't have that. And obviously my response is, it's not that you need to work out more, not that you need to meal prep in your kitchen 8 times a day. It's that we need to be more intentional with when you eat. You need to know how to make the right decisions. And when you work out, sometimes I even have people work out less, but it's more intelligently designed workouts. So in terms of how doable this has been for your schedule, how do you feel like it's worked? And also you have a family, right? You've got 3 kids and you're married. So
it's, as you said, look, being a former athlete, exercise is part of my routine anyway. I get up early because it's the only really time that I can get it done, other than on a weekend, depending on schedules. So I'm up early in the morning, 5:30, 5:45. And obviously the strength and resistance training, the ones that you got me on now are obviously a lot longer, but let's just say 45 to 60 minutes. And then I'm done, right? And then you go into the day energized and ready to go. So with anything, right, it's what you put into it, is what you're going to get out of it. I know that sounds cliche, but it's absolutely true. And then with the running, right, with a little bit of cardio on the off days, that's 20 minutes. So, you know, I don't have to get up at 5:30. I can get up at 6, go for a 20-minute, 30-minute run, and I'm good to go. So I think it's, you know, for those that they're not morning people and get up early, they just, maybe you do it in your lunch break, right? It's just finding the time to do it that's convenient for you. Weekends may be a little bit different for me, depending on game schedules for the boys and everything like that. So if it's not in the morning, I'll come back after the game and do it in the evening. So being a little bit more flexible is good. But with anything, Molly, I'm sure, obviously, with your coaching and engagement with executives, it's, you got to find the time to do it if you want to see results. So,
but that's a good, I mean, referencing like 45 minutes is a pretty typical, like typically it's about 40. I ask people, you know, do you have 45 minutes 4 times a week? And we're supplementing with a little bit of cardio right now for you, but we might not keep that in there. Like I said, that was for, you know, getting over a plateau, but cardio was actually the last thing that we did for you to get over that. And that might not be a permanent thing in your program, but yeah, because a lot of people are already working out, you know, an hour every single day, 7 days a week, working out for an hour. And if you're not seeing results with that, then, I mean, primarily it's probably something that's off with your diet, but also working out more doesn't produce results. It's working out with the right structure and the right plan that will produce results. How about flexibility with business dinners, travel, eating out? Because I think another fear that I hear people talking about is, you know, I can't be eating from a Tupperware 8 times a day. Can I still eat at business dinners? Does this work with eating out, you know? So what's been your experience there, having that flexibility to still?
Yeah, I think the experience there, I mean, for me, it's been a lot more aware of what I'm putting into my body, right? So whether that's more protein, which I think was the case, I was really low on protein. So I was actually at a business dinner this week. What did I have? I had a filet, broccoli. It's perfect. And a couple of sweet potatoes. Perfect. So I would say you do not need to go on a strict, you know, carrots, vegetables diet, right? It's, you can eat what you want, but you've got to track it to make sure, I mean, I track everything that I eat every day. So, you know, if you're having a salad for lunch, maybe you do double chicken, right? You do double protein. Dinners, business dinners, travel. That's being mindful of what you're putting in your body and an awareness of what you're eating. So that's been, I think, the coaching from you on that has been really helpful. Just to understand what you're putting in. Not eating, you know, 10 chocolate digestives on a Saturday, right? Which is basically fat. So, but I can have one with a cup of tea and that's it. But it's just everything in moderation.
How do you, that's huge. And as an add-on to that, how do you feel like your hunger has been? Because a lot of people know that they need to learn how to eat in moderation. You know, when you're having 10 cookies instead of one, people know. When you have 5 slices of pizza instead of 2, most people are aware that they need to learn moderation. However, what happens when you just focus on cutting calories or cutting things out, like don't eat carbs, don't eat sugar, you know, 0 alcohol, 0 everything, it becomes very challenging after a while. And what people don't realize is that's because there are survival mechanisms built into our bodies to essentially make you overeat once you've lost body fat or once you've been in a calorie deficit for a while. And so one of the things we've done with you and why it's been possible for you to eat in moderation, even when you're around good food, is because we are targeting hunger. Essentially, your diet is really set up to preserve muscle mass on your body and to lower hunger. And that's why you've been able to do things like have 1 instead of 10, right? How do you feel like, do you feel like you've been super hungry? How has hunger and energy been throughout this process as you've lost?
It's actually been really good. I mean, I don't feel hungry. I mentioned to you this morning, you know, I worked out this morning. I didn't even feel like eating this morning after the workout, but I think as long as you're taking the right intake of protein, right, which to me has helped me cure hunger completely. Double chicken at lunch, and if you're struggling, right, protein smoothie with whey protein, that helps. So I think for me, and I hope, you know, obviously some of your other clients, I'm sure they've, at the beginning, probably the first week, I was a little bit hungry, but once you get through that, I was fine, because I'm still eating what I want to eat. I'm having a steak, I'm having a piece of chicken, I'm having some fish, vegetables, still eating potatoes, but in moderation. So I just get my carb intake. And I do have a sweet tooth. So if I want to have a couple of cookies, I just got to make sure that I measure it and put it. And if it's tiramisu or bread pudding, right, you just got to eat it in moderation. But your calorie count is important and your protein count. That's what I've got from tracking what I'm putting in my body.
Totally. What's cool, and this is why, like, I think when people try to do things on their own, because people watch this and be like, well, I tried eating more protein, it didn't work. What we've been able to do and why I think it's so important that people get a coach that has time to pay attention to them and actually has time to mentor them is we have developed a template that works for you. I don't have any other clients that are doing exactly what you're doing. Similar process, but not identical to what we're doing with you. And so that's the benefit of, you know, working with a program that is truly custom built to you is we've been able to capture the targets that work for you. So, you know, these are my protein goals. These are my calorie goals. I have these flexible guidelines set up and now I can enjoy eating what I want within those. And I know I'll make progress. I think that's huge too. And you've done a great job. I would say that this program, this method is not for people that do not like data. Typically everybody I work with is already, you know, already has a good relationship with tracking data because we know that that's where the solutions are, right? It allows you to see where your mistakes are too, but you know, it also shows us what the roadmap is for you, what the solution is. And that is one of the biggest things that shortens the timeline for reaching your goals. You have to know what's going on. And so, yeah, so you've done an excellent job with tracking and all of that. I don't know, anything else to share? Did you share what you tried on your own? I know you were talking about you tried cardio. Did you try anything with food on your own before we did this?
I did. I tried a diet. I tried I'm not going to mention it, but I tried the Prolon diet, right? And I was starving. I thought I was going to eat my elbow off right after I was starving after that, and I lost weight. I lost like 7 pounds in a week.
Mhm.
But you know what happens? You're so hungry, you go out and you put the weight back on. So I just needed something that was going to provide consistency and progress over time, right? And that's the key, because as you well know, Molly, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, and it's progress. And the goal was, okay, where do we want to be in 6 months? Where do we want to be in 12 months? So we're on our way, and we're not done yet.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I think that's another good point too, is like there are lots of ways to lose weight, but ideally you're looking for something that is sustainable and something that allows you to get results that are permanent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
cool. Well, thank you for sharing. Obviously, I'm enjoying coaching you and you've done a great job, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. It's gonna be good.
Lovely. Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, Steve. Talk soon.